Welcome to Star Wars Action News, helping Star Wars collectors collect better.
Also, a lot of reports coming in that the Toys R Us exclusive 6-inch Black Series Snowtrooper Officer has been showing up on the pegs. I have not seen that at my Toys R Us, but I did get an order placed online when they were up there, and much to my dismay, I got them in a padded envelope.
I know, you panicked when you saw that.
I'd heard some people on our Facebook page say they got theirs pancaked in padded envelopes, and the day they posted that, I got a small box, and I'm like, oh, good, I got a box. And then the next day, I got my padded envelope, and I'm like, oh, no. They weren't horribly damaged, but they certainly weren't anything I'd want AFA graded.
They weren't pristine.
But this Snowtrooper Officer figure is pretty dang cool. I really like the figure. I love his glossy armor on his helmet and his chest, his removable backpack, and his gun, which fits so well in his hand.
I think this might be the best Snowtrooper we've ever had. The only thing I don't like is I don't like their new helmets, because I think it makes them look like snails. If you look at a snail, they have two little bottom antennae, and it makes me think of a snail.
I could see that. The eye porthole is so tiny that it's hard to believe any human can see out of it.
Well, they may not be human.
Good point, good point.
Maybe it's like Geordi on Star Trek, and he can see even through there.
Maybe there's a heads-up display in there. I don't know if the First Order will have aliens in it. That's a really good point. I've always thought the Empire was very xenophobic, pro-human, so we will have to see. And Hasbro did say in their panel at New York Comic Con, there is a pattern to the pauldron colors for the First Order, and so this red is the officer color. But the paint app on mine is really well done. The black stripes on his boots are really clean. The gray lettering on the chest is really sharp.
No, I think this is one of the best figures that they've made. It's really good. Again, the only problem I have is with the aesthetics of the helmet. I think that they did a good job. The whites match, which is very hard to do with white. It's something that's really, it's obvious when you start using different materials, but I feel like this is really well put together. A lot of times, like, the hands don't match the forearms, and then they don't match the legs when they're next to it. It's great, and I think they did a really good job on the rubbery little skirt. I think it hangs better than when they do the thicker plastic. This is like a soft, I can't think of the word to describe it. It's malleable, but it's not like you can bend it. I can't think of the right word to describe it, but it's kind of like a pudding skin.
Pliable. Rubbery. Now, two things that are a little bit bothersome. He has great arm articulation. You can get him posed really well with that gun. His crooked Mega T finger goes around the trigger. But because of this half cape skirt thing, his articulation in the legs is limited to forward motions only. You can't bend him back at all. And because of the slope of his helmet, it's really, really difficult to turn his head. And I think I'm kind of digging it into the pauldron a little bit. I don't know if it's just the pauldron that's stopping the turn, but turning his head, I'm getting maybe 5 degrees in each direction before it's so hard to push that I'm just stopping. He's got to kind of turn at the waist if he wants to look in a different direction.
So it's like he's in traction.
Yeah, pretty much. And I like what you said about the whites matching.
I think it's phenomenal. I think these whites are good. It's some of the best whites I've seen. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in 5 years, just being exposed to the elements, because on some of the snowtroopers, different parts yellow at different rates, and it happens with stormtroopers too. But I think that coming out of the package, this one's top notch.
There's a couple different shades here. I think the glossy armor is different than the Under Armour, which is a little different than the rubbery cape, but they're all so together that it looks good. You know, it doesn't look like they tried to match exactly and failed. It looks like different pieces will be slightly different tones of white. The cloth in a costume would be different than plastic on a costume and all of that. So I think with the glossy helmet, the clean paint job, this indeed is a snowtrooper of the First Order. They didn't overload him with accessories. I might have liked a big gun like the regular First Order Stormtrooper had, but we got the backpack instead. And, you know, it's the octagonal hole in his back that you just push a peg into, and now he's got a backpack. But they went through the detail of painting like gray and black on the side, so they did 2 different paint passes on just the backpack itself. So, well done, and definitely a figure worth building out your ranks for the First Order.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Star Wars Action News with more collecting news and reviews at swactionnews.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. May the pegs be stocked and the Force be with you.